welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I am trying to give it a couple of minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. And we are going to get started after that. All right. So, welcome to the live. Today's live where I'm going to actually pick up where I left off. Let's see, I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday. Was kind of picking up where I left off yesterday with the website comparison. So yesterday in that live, um, we talked about the differences between having a one-page website, which is kind of reminiscent of a landing page, and also the difference between a one-page website and a full website where you have multiple pages within that website. So like if they click the link at the top in your navigation, or they click the About tab, then it will take them to a separate page from your homepage. So you can check that out, take a look at it. I'll put that in the description when I'm done with these videos. You can see it on YouTube or on my Facebook page. That's at Christyl Benford. At Christyl Benford, and that's on YouTube and Facebook. So today I wanted to kind of continue the in the vein of website comparisons. Okay, because I had a friend that recommended a couple of these topics. She's like, I would like to hear you talk about that. I said, oh, that's really good. She's also a client as well. And I said, oh, that's really good. You know, I gotta, yeah, let me do that. Let me do that. So I wanted to come to you today talking about the comparisons. This time for website comparison, we're going to be talking about, can I give it mine again? We're going to be talking about the DIY website, the one that you do yourself, versus a website that's done by a brand designer such as myself. And a brand designer first, well, I don't want to jump ahead. First, let me do the preliminaries, okay? Like Ashley Ann says, let's do all of the, get the housekeeping out of the way. So first of all, I want to mention that next week I will be launching a Mindset Fix bundle. Okay, it's going to have a mixtape for meditation and affirmations for believers. It is going to have a 30-day affirmation card system and an ebook. All of this by yours truly. The ebook is called Avoiding the Self-Sabotage Trap. It releases on the 14th. The entire bundle releases on the 14th. You can pre-order it now for $87. After the 14th, or from the 14th on and after, it will be $174. So try to get it as soon as you can. I will put the link in the description, and it will also be in my bio link as well. So you can check that out and pre-order to save yourself a few coins, and then be able to get that digital product bundle. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing I wanted to tell those of you that are entrepreneurs, ministers, and pastors that need a website or need to reboost your website to make it more effective for this era that we're in right now. I am having a COVID-19, because of COVID-19, I am offering special payment plans or extended payment plans on all of my packages. So check that out at Zeely Creative, ZEELY creative.com. You can check that out as well. And so, yeah, you can check that out. And then plus I have other good resources over there too. So first of all, let me introduce myself as I love to do. Not because I'm stuck up, because I think I need you to know who I am and why do I know this information that I'll be telling you today, especially if you're watching the replay and you haven't met me yet or you haven't seen my videos yet. I want to introduce myself. My name is Christyl Benford. I am a brand designer. I am the owner of Zeely Creative, brand agents or brand studio. That's Z as in zebra, EELY creative.com is where you can go check it out. I am a GMA award-winning singer and songwriter, and I am a mindset advocate. I love teaching people how to improve their mindset, because everything starts in the mindset first. Success and failure both start with the mindset. So it is important that we have a healthy and strong mindset to get us to the things that we desire to obtain in life. Okay, and get over or get through in life as well. So that is the housekeeping that is out of the way. You can check the links in the bio, as I said, in my bio, and you can also check it in the description once these videos are done. So let's get back to today's topic. This is part 2 of website comparison. Okay. Today, we're going to be talking about the DIY website versus a brand designer doing your website. So here, first of all, let me tell you the difference between a brand designer and a web designer. They're both awesome in their own right. Okay, but a web designer is a little more on the coding side. They're a little more on the creation of the website. Whereas a brand designer, we take everything into consideration. Your brand, your email or your opt-in form list on your page that's going to build your email list. We take into things the overall brand when we're doing, for those of us that are brand designers that do websites, we take into consideration the overall brand of your company, or even if it's you, that's the brand, just you solely, even you, like your messaging, your story, all that good stuff. We take that into consideration when we're building your website, because we want to make sure that it's not just somewhere that people can come to learn about you or buy your products and services, but it is your online online home, as I stated before. Your website is your online home. So a brand designer takes into consideration all of what encompasses your brand, and we put it into the website so that it exudes everything that you stand for, everything that you sell, and everything that you represent. It has to be like kind of your fingerprint. Okay, that's your online fingerprint. It has to embody you. It has to embody what you believe, what you're selling, everything from the design. We don't just focus on just the design, because you can have a pretty website that does nothing for you. But we want to focus on making sure that we're building your audience, and that we're getting you connected with your tribe through your website. So I already gave you a few things. I'm going to give you a few more breakdowns on that. And let me make sure that I went. Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm going to give you a few more breakdowns on being live, on you doing your website versus hiring someone like a brand designer to do your website. So first and foremost, and let me say, I'm a brand designer. So part of what I do does encompass brand design, but it goes along, web design, but it goes along with the branding. Okay, I don't just code and do all that stuff just to have you something up and ready for people to visit. I take the entire brand and I put it into your website. So the DIY, here's the thing with the DIY. If you are not all the way familiar on branding, if you are not clear with your messaging or clear with your with your target audience, like making that niche target audience, then the thing about the DIY is if you're not clear on all of those things, then sometimes it'll be easy for you to go into like Wix or somewhere like that, get a theme, just put in your information, replace the copy, which is the written part. You replace that with your message, your story, and then you take some images and you put some images in there that are yours, and you replace their images with your images, and then bada bing, bada boom, you release the website. Okay, but here is the differences between that. That's awesome, and I'm so glad that they did create something like that. But here's the difference. You need someone that is going to be an expert and think beyond what you can think. That's the whole point of being an expert in your field, just like you're an expert in your field. If you're a hairstylist, then someone that doesn't know anything about hair or very little about hair, they can't tell you what's the best thing to do for hair, because you're the specialist. You're the one that went to school for what you did. You got the license for what you did. Certain tips and tricks that they're not going to think about it because you're skilled. You're an expert in that particular thing. Well, guess what? It's the same for your website. It's the same for your branding. I've said it before in my other brand videos that branding is more than just a pretty logo. Branding is more than a beautiful color palette and a few pictures here and there. It goes so much deeper. Those are the surface things and the visual aesthetics of your brand. But when you're building a website by yourself, there are going to be some things that you're going to miss, that could be crucial for you building your online business, for you grabbing the attention of people when they come to your site and getting them onto your email list, which you should have. If you are an entrepreneur, even a minister or a pastor, you should have an email list, okay, where you can connect with people. But I have a video for that. Check out my YouTube channel. There is one on building an email list. But I want you to think about the differences. So if you're doing a DIY website, you're going into one of those service-based websites. You're choosing a theme, and then you're designing it. There's going to be some things you're going to miss, like having an opt-in form. There are also going to be some things you're going to miss. Not only an opt-in form, the messaging has to be right to attract your demographic. So the tone of your message, you might miss out on that because you're just trying to get it up there. Another really important thing is because you are the creator, you are the owner of your business. You really don't, if web design and branding is not your specialty, you really don't have time to do that really if you're trying to run a business and be creative on your business side with your expertise. And it takes a lot of time. It really takes a lot of time. And what can happen is you'll start building that brand, or not brand, you'll start building that website, and then you will get caught up and you will just get tired of it. So one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to get tired of working on it because it's not your expertise, this is not your passion. I have to run a business, I have to do these things over here. And either one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to rush through it and it's going to be really lacking, or either you're going to spend so much time on it that you are going to you're going to hate it. And even then, you're still going to miss something because you don't know exactly what to put in there. So imagery is very important. You know, that's what a brand designer like me does. When I take your entire brand, I am literally picking, like hand picking individual things. And this isn't just me as a brand designer. This is any brand designer that's out there that does web design as well. But we're hand picking pictures that go along with your brand. We're hand picking and customizing the copy, which I said the written portion of your website that is exuding your personality, that's exuding your message and your vision and your passion and your story. We're taking all those things into consideration. We even know how to house, or how to house every section on your website, you know, because it has to be almost like a flow, an intricate story where you're going from the beginning to the end, and it's literally taking them through that transition. Your brand designer is going to know how to do that. And so even though I always say this, I always say hire people that are experts in their field to do what you're not strong in. I always say that goes for me too, because look, I was a control freak, honey, and I was also a perfectionist. Sometimes I still have to fight the perfectionist part, you know, but I was a perfectionist and I want to have everything done, and it would take me forever. And then I'm like, OMG, this is taking so long. If I would have hired an expert, it could have already been done, because they know things that I don't know. They will effectively execute the work that I can't execute it the way that they can and get the impact that they can, because they know what they're doing. I don't. So when you are DIY, when you are doing your website yourself, you don't want to risk, because like I said, this is your online home. You don't want to risk missing out. You don't want to risk missing out on opportunities of grabbing people. Like I said yesterday in my, and I want you to really check that out. Like I said yesterday in my live yesterday, I said that that you only get literally people, you get 7 to 10 seconds. Okay, for them to see if they want to be interested. And if they're interested, then you get 15 to usually 20 seconds at the very, and that's long, at the very most, for them to decide if they want what you put, if they want to pick up what you're putting down. Literally. So everything that you do has to be strategic. It has to be wise. It has to be very like set in place. It has to be strategically placed from your cover, which is the top portion of your website, all the way down to when they finally get to the contact page. And this is if you're doing a one-pager. And it's even more strategic, and more strategy has to go into it if you decide that you want a full page or a full website which has multiple pages within that website, or multiple, I guess it is pages and tabs taken to different pages on your website. So it is crucial that you understand that if that's not your strong suit, it's okay. But tell me, what is going to be more important for you? Saving money doing it yourself, and then your website doesn't work for you, meaning that it's not bringing you in more people, it's not building your email list, it's not bringing in more customers, it's not giving you more sales, but yet you save money because you did it yourself? Or would you rather invest in yourself, invest in your company, and pay somebody to do it that is an expert at that, and then is bringing you in your tribe, is bringing you in customers, is making those sales online, is booking your calendar if there's a scheduler on there. These are some crucial things to think about it. Do you want to spend the time and waste time when you could be spending time on creating and spending time on managing, spending time on sales, things that are really important for your business? And do you want that time taken away from these intricate things you need to do into the website, which you don't want to do, and then it'll still be wanting? You know what I mean? Or do you want to invest? Because I'm gonna tell you what I've learned, honey, in all these years as a business owner. I have learned that when you invest, that investment, I don't care if you spend from $5 to $10,000. If you are investing in expert advice, expert work, expert opinion, expert wisdom, expert consultation, when you invest in that, it literally saves you so much time. Like, I love this because I heard this said, and I'm probably going to misquote it wrong, but when you get a mentor, it is like your fast track. Okay, it is like your fast track to success. Well, guess what? That's with any expertise that you invest into concerning your business, concerning your life. Like, if somebody's marriage isn't working, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to marriage counseling, because clearly between the two of them, they don't have the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding to know what to do to make that marriage work. They know something's broke. They know we don't get along. We fight all the time. We do this, that, and the other. So we clearly need somebody that is Switzerland. We need a moderator that is going to be able to hear both sides clearly, unbiasedly, to be able to help us. Guess what? It's the same for your website. If you do have a website and it's not working, then hire you a brand designer. Even if it's not me, hire somebody that is an expert. Make sure that they are expert at this. Hire somebody that is an expert at building that website so that you can focus on what's important in your business that you are good at, and then let them take your website and turn it into something amazing that is going to work for you, is going to produce for you, that is going to profit for you. Okay, we don't want to have a website for the sake of, I have a website. Oh, everybody come look at me. What? And there's nothing different in your industry between you and somebody else, because when you're doing that, you kind of looking at what other people are doing and you putting that into your website, but it is missing your voice. It's missing your style. It's missing your pizzazz, or whatever you want to call it, is missing you, and it's missing that story, that testimony of why you started your business and how many people you help. Is missing so much. So I would encourage you, these are some of the differences between having a DIY site and having a professional site done by a brand designer. Because like I said, difference between a brand designer, I'll reiterate this, is that when a brand designer does a website, they're looking at your entire brand, your story, your messaging, your personality, your color, from the look of it to the feel of it to the flow of it, like how people can navigate through the site that's going to take them from one location in that journey on your site to the next, and do it fluidly. These are some things that we as professionals know. But if you decide to do it on your own, then I would say this, I would say, don't do it. I was going to say, don't do it, because you're still going to miss something. You're going to miss something if it's not your expertise. But, I do have a course called the Website Reboot, okay? I do have a course that will tell you some of the most important things you need to have on your website as a professional. Okay, the most important things you need to have on your website, and I show you how you can do it, and I give you some free tips inside of the course that you can utilize to make your website impactful and make it better and make it work for you. But whether you have a website already, if it's not doing anything for you, get the professional help you need, even if that's a consultation. If you don't have a website, then honey, now is the time to get one. If you want to take your business to the next level and you want it to thrive, then I suggest you get one. And of course, I'm going to suggest that you get expert advice. Okay, get you a brand designer that can tell you, one that does web design or either works with a web designer where they can give you the overall package, because we don't want to miss anything. We want to make, and let me tell you, even if you have a brick and mortar, more people are going to come to your website than they will to your brick and mortar. So it has to work for you. And with this pandemic that's going on, it has to work for you. Your website has to be working for you. Even if you're asleep, it needs to be making you money, honey. It needs to. So here was a few tips, okay? Here was some of the things, the differences between the two. Having a DIY website, you might miss some things. You might not know how to brand it the way that your brand already is, or the brand that you're building. You might miss some key elements that you need on your website. Whereas if you hire a designer, a brand designer, one that does website or works with a web designer, they know what you need. They know what works, they know what makes money, and they know what converts. Because we don't want to just get them to the site, we want them to buy. We want them to become a part of our tribe. We want them to become fans. And in order to do that, you need to have a wonderful, powerful, profitable website. So don't do it yourself if you don't have to. Invest in yourself. Just do it. Invest in yourself. Take your money that you set aside, invest in it so that you can focus on everything else, and let somebody build your website so that it is something amazing that people want to stay on, buy on, and come to, but not in that order. Okay, so I hope this was good. I hope you all enjoyed this. And like I said, I have a couple of items that will be in the links will be in the descriptions. You can also check the link in my bio, which has a lot of amazing resources, some free resources. I want you to check that out because I want you to succeed as a business owner. But in order to do that, you have to listen to wisdom, as the word says. Listen to wisdom, get understanding. Even if you're doing some things yourself, which I understand, some things you do have to do yourself when you're an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out. But at least get the tools and the wisdom you need to be able to be a success in your brand, in your website, even in your mindset, in your messaging, in your story, and all that good stuff. It's a lot of stuff to take in when you are building a business. But get the wisdom you need and get the help you need. And I'm here for you. If you want to work with me, click the link in the bio. Again, my name is Christyl Benford. I am a brand designer. I am the owner of ZeelyCreative.com. That's Z as in zebra, EELY, creative.com. Brand studio, not .com, brand studio. But I'm the owner of Zeely Creative. You can see that at ZeelyCreative.com. And I am a GMA award-winning singer and songwriter. And I am a mindset advocate. And I want you to succeed. So I pray blessings, peace, and prosperity over your business, your finances, and your life. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, I will see you live at 12:05, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.